I got my headlights in. The they had clear coat on this, and I saw a great big gray spot, and I rubbed it. Anyway, it all came off. Um, here it is out here on the ground, all the clear coat, and I had to grab my buffing thing and buff for like an hour, but I got them in, and quite a job putting the headlights in because I had the bracket all out and stuff. And anyway, I got the bracket that the headlight sits in proper after a while. These headlights do not go in good, but they go in pretty decent and fit perfect if the bracket is exactly right. But anyway, I got it so that, and they'll slide right in and drop right into place. But it took me a while to get the bracket right. So down here in the world of uh, coiling lines for the transmission, I took it all apart. I took this pulls back, and there's a little clip. I unhooked the clip. I couldn't actually pull the line out, so I got the bright idea to grab my 3/4 inch wrench. So I turned the nut, and it turned in the line, and out it came. So then up here, in between those two lines, you see a bolt, a stud, and a nut. That's size 10. You loosen that, and then a little pry bar, and those two lines come off. And the top line is the same as this. It comes off the same way. So anyway, I took it out, cleaned it up, and the problem, I believe, is in there. There was a lot of corrosion in this fitting and rust on the line, so it built up, so the little O-ring leaked. So I cleaned it all up, and I decided to put them back on. In the procedure of putting it back on, I got it in place, start to thread my nut on the threads in here, and it went in like conch, loose. It went in like 1/2 inch, and a whole bunch of antifreeze poured out in my jug. And then I pulled on it, and it came back, and the antifreeze stopped. And push on it, the antifreeze leaked out. So anyway, I tightened the nut, and everything stopped. Now here, there's a big washer built on the nut, and on this there's a rubber ring glued on this, that big washer that's part of that nut rubs against. There's also, I guess, a gasket inside that seals the antifreeze, and what actually holds the pipe inside this radiator is this fitting. If so, in the video I watched on YouTube the other day, they didn't mention anything about it. And after I got this tight, I got questioning. So I went to a buddy down the road at a transmission shop, and he told me, oh, whenever I replace these, I never take the nut off the radiator. I pull the pin, pull them out, reach in there and clean out the hole, dig out the O-ring, put in a new O-ring in it, and new hoses. Never take that nut off, because if you take that nut off, the inside pipe is held by that nut, and if it falls, or if the gasket inside falls, it's put together before they build the radiator, or when they're building it, it's inside and it's not supported, so it falls out easy. And anyway, he said if it's not leaking, chances are you got it good. But I had transmission and antifreeze all in here, and I didn't take this out and clean it out, so it's still seeping out. But I don't think it's leaking up here. No, it's dry there. But if I have any trouble with this leaking either antifreeze or transmission oil, I'll be taking the radiator out of the red car, and I'm not going to touch it because they're all dry. And I'll leave this all intact and take off the radiator hose and off the block and pull the radiator out with this still attached and not even touch it, and then put it in this car. So anyway, that, lucky or not, I'm not sure until I have it running. But I almost see a pinhole in it right there. Oh, maybe just the light shining on it. But anyway, no big deal, except for if anybody takes that nut off, there is a chance of losing the pipe inside. So be cautious. Ugh. Up and down, all my knees are wore out by. Anyway, when I had to put new struts on it and steering links and my steering rack and intermediate steering shaft, and also I had to pull this axle out because I got a seal leaking up there on the side of the transmission. And I have 2 brand new wheel bearings Buddy gave to me. So when I had this off, I'll check these. But yeah, all kinds of fun. But anyway, I learned, slowly learning this stuff. I'm not I'm not actually a modern day mechanic, but I'm slowly learning some anyway. But the radiator and those cooling lines on that car are perfect. So if I need it, I'll just unhook it off the motor and leave the lines right intact. And there's enough room. The radiator hose is in the way, but that has to be moved or unhooked anyway. So, but anyway, I thought I had the camera facing the other way. Oh, well, good night.